What's up everybody, it's Rashad Buie. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button as I upload videos on a weekly basis covering the hottest topics in sports, especially if it is OU related. This is Ballin' with Buie. Today I'm going to continue my bracketology. I've already broken down the West and the East, so today I'm going to break down the South and the Midwest. First I'm going to start with the South. But before I get to that, in the West bracket, there is a slight change that I have made because Davion Harmon for OU is going to be out for their game against Missouri. So now I have flipped my decision, and I think Missouri is going to win that first round matchup. I don't think OU is going to be able to pull it off. I thought the game was going to be close beforehand, and now that OU is without their second leading scorer, I think Missouri will end up winning that ball game. So let's dive on into the South region. First seed for the South region is Baylor. Baylor Bears going up against the 16th seed, obviously. It's going to be a wipe. There's, like I've mentioned before, 1 seeds are not going to lose to a 16th seed. This is not going to happen again. So Baylor's got to get an easy dub. And the next game is really interesting, I think. 8 North Carolina versus 9 Wisconsin. Wisconsin playing in the Big Ten, the best conference arguably in NCAA this year, and they did a fairly solid job. And then North Carolina, who is not playing the way that they usually play on a year in year out basis, but they kind of put it together towards the end of the year, got a couple big wins. And I went back and forth on this game for a while, and I had Wisconsin at first, but today I ended up changing my mind. I think North Carolina is going to be able to pull out the win and advance to take on Baylor in the round of 32. Next matchup is 5 versus 12, Villanova versus Winthrop. I think Villanova is going to lose this game. I also went back and forth on this one for a while, but Villanova is without their star player, so I think that it's going to be a good opportunity for an upset in this 5-12 matchup. And in the 4-13 matchup, got Purdue and North Texas. At first, I did pick North Texas just because Purdue isn't the Purdue that we're kind of used to seeing in an NCAA tournament. They're built a little bit different this year, scoring-wise. But I do think Purdue is going to be able to pull out the win. But I've been hearing a lot of noise about the Mean Green pulling off an upset, but I don't have it happening. I got Purdue moving on to the next round. Then we got the 6 versus 11, Texas Tech versus Utah State. Again, a very interesting matchup. But I do think Texas Tech is going to be able to pull it out. They have looked kind of rough to end the year, but I do think that they are going to be able to pull it out just based off Mac McClung. I think he is built for a moment like this, and I think he's going to do good things. So moving on to the 3 versus 14, it's Arkansas versus Colgate. Arkansas has been kind of a topic of discussion for the upset alert also, but I don't think that Arkansas is going to lose. Not with Moses Moody on the other side. He's going to be arguably a lottery pick, top 10, top 5 maybe. I don't really know. I haven't seen the latest mock draft to see where he's at right now. But he's going to be a high-end value NBA player, and I don't think he's going to let them lose in the first round. So I think they advance to the round of 32. Then the next matchup, we got 7 Florida and 10 Virginia Tech. This one's kind of a flip-a-coin game for me. I didn't know really who to pick. But I do think that Virginia Tech is going to be able to advance. I don't really know why. I don't trust Florida too much. And they played in the SEC. They didn't look too hot in the SEC. So yeah, I went with Virginia Tech. Then 2 versus 15 matchup. Not going to be an upset there. Ohio State's going to wipe them, easily advance to the round of 32. So round of 32 matchups in the South region. First matchup, Baylor Bears versus North Carolina. I think it's going to be an intriguing game to talk about, but I don't actually think the game itself is going to be too intriguing. I think Baylor is just too good, and I don't think North Carolina is going to be able to hang, and I think Baylor is going to easily advance to the Sweet 16. Then we got 12 Winthrop after pulling off the upset against Villanova against 4 Purdue, and I did have them pulling off another upset at first, but then I figured Purdue was just going to be too big for them to handle, so I do have Purdue advancing on to the round or the Sweet 16. Then a very good game that I think is going to happen, Texas Tech and Arkansas. I think that is going to be a game to watch. Again, this is a game that I kind of flip-flopped on. I had Texas Tech at first, but then I was like, Moses Moody is probably just going to be too much for Texas Tech, but I like Mac McClung. I don't know. I'm still not too sure about the game, but I think Arkansas is going to advance. That's who I picked in my bracket. Then we got Virginia Tech and Ohio State. I don't think it's going to be a game again. I think Ohio State's going to wipe their round of 32 matchup and send Virginia Tech home. Then first Sweet 16 matchup, first Sweet 16 matchup is going to be Baylor versus Purdue. I think will be a somewhat interesting game just because Purdue is going to have size and Baylor doesn't have size to match. But Purdue is going to have to stop them from the three-point line, and I don't think that they're going to be able to. So I think Baylor's going to be able to advance to the Elite Eight to set up a matchup between the winner of Arkansas and Ohio State, which I think this is kind of going to be where the run ends for Arkansas and Moses Moody. I think Ohio State is going to move on to the Elite Eight. They looked really good at the end of the year. They did hit a bump kind of towards the end of the year, but then they looked really good in the Big Ten tournament, even though they did lose in the championship game to Illinois. But Illinois is one of the hottest teams in the country right now, and they lost in OT. So Ohio State, nonetheless, is still looks really good right now, and I think they're going to move on to the Elite Eight to set up a huge matchup, which I think is going to be probably the best Elite Eight game. I mean, in my bracket anyways. I don't know if what all is going to happen, but in my bracket this 1-2 matchup is going to be a really good game if it happens. Baylor versus Ohio State. I think it's going to be exciting. There's going to be a lot of scoring, I predict, but I do think Baylor is going to be able to advance. I know Baylor has not looked great to end the year, but I think that they're going to return to their form. They're going to get those first 2 games in the tournament, which are going to be the first game is just going to be kind of a warm-up game, kind of get their footing to make a run in the tournament, and then after that, I think they're just going to be able to continue the roll in their region. And I think Baylor's going to be able to advance to the Final Four. I mean, they're still one of the best teams in the nation. I don't care if they did lose 2 games towards the end of the year. Baylor is still one of the hottest teams in the nation. So yeah, I think Baylor's going to win the South region, and next video I'll break down the Midwest. So that's all I got. Deuces.